The Solo Show is brought to you, as always, by Victor Naraki Realtor, serving Disney in the greater Orlando area with celebratingflorida.com and disneyatyourdoorstep.com. Coming up on The Solo Show.
Now, you got to put on your thinking caps here. You're going to become Imagineers now. What are you going to make for the brand new attraction?
Me? I would probably do kind of like a roller coaster that's really intense, mixing with, I don't know, some kind of Disney movie.
How about an Orange Bird roller coaster? Go through trees and stuff.
Orange Bird.
I would probably make like a Velocicoaster style roller coaster for Star Wars.
Oh.
I think it fit the theme very well.
Okay.
Oh, or like
It should be like the Kessel Run.
The Kessel Run.
yes.
I'd probably do that too.
Stan does what Stan does best. Talks to people about two of his favorite topics. Going to Disney World and talking to kids about going to Disney World. Because let's face it, Stan's just a big kid himself. That's coming up right now on The Solo Show.
I'm Realtor Victor Naraki, and I specialize in living near Disney World. I work directly with you. I'm not a referral agent. A referral agent takes your name, takes your number, and then sells you to a random agent for a stake in that commission. When you call me, you get me, and I am there for you from the initial consultation through to closing and all the steps in between. You get me. Now, if you want to reach me, visit disneyatyourdoorstep.com for all my links, and you will get me.
And when you do get Victor, tell him The Solo Show sent you.
Hey everybody, it's Paul Sun-Hyung Lee, and you are listening to The Solo Show, so stay tuned.
Broadcasting from the Solo Studios here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, the center of North America, on this little planet we call Earth. This is The Solo Show. Coming up, Stan talks about one of his favorite topics, going to Disneyland, and the other of his favorite topics, talking to kids, as he talks to Alex Smith, author of the Second Dad to the Right blog. And you can check out his blog at seconddadtotheright.com. Plus, we've got a couple of surprise guests coming up. And now, please welcome... You know what? I have done 161 of these intros for The Solo Show. And frankly, this week I just couldn't come up with a good idea for a joke. Don't anybody tell Stan, but here's 20 seconds of a kitten purring in front of the fire. And now, please welcome your host. Here's Stan Solo. Sorry, Stan.
Hello and welcome to another edition of The Solo Show. I am Stan Solo as always, and you're in for a very special treat today because I got, oh my gosh, look at this, Ken. Great job at picking on. I can pronounce his name. Alex Smith, welcome to the podcast. How are you today, my friend?
I'm good. And I'm not the quarterback. I'm just a different Alex Smith.
Okay, so not to be confused with the Alex Smith. He's the other the Alex Smith. Where are you from, Alex?
I'm from Atlanta, and so just north of, just far enough to be annoying to drive there, but an hour flight. So we started flying a good bit to Disney World.
So that was my next question. Do you drive or do you fly?
So we did drive a lot, but now we've been doing a lot of travel points hacking, credit card hacking, getting all the points for opening cards. And so now we have Companion Pass with Southwest, and so we have tons of Southwest points, and my wife flies free every time we fly. So we've been doing a lot more flying. And we have a 2-year-old who has gotten used to flying, at least for an hour. We're going to Disneyland in 3 weeks, and so we'll see how he handles a 5-hour flight.
Oh yeah, okay. Oh, exciting! This can be the first time. So you have a family here. You got a couple of girls and a son. What are the ages and names here?
So Della and Amelia are 10 and 8. Those are my two daughters, and then I have a son named Asher that's 2.
2. Okay, so this would be the first time for all of them to Disneyland, or just for
all of us? Yeah, because I mean it's so much farther away, and Disney World's so close. But like I was talking about, now we booked all of our flights for free, and we're staying in a Hyatt across the street because Disneyland, from what I've learned, is so much better staying off-site than Disney World is. And so, we're in walking distance to the parks from a Hyatt, which we're staying at for free also because of credit card points.
Oh, man, that's awesome. That's great. Yeah, yeah. If you're across the street on one of those Disneyland hotels, you're just walking. You don't need there's no buses, there's no nothing. You're just walking to the parks and everything. You also have a blog, Second Dad to the Right?
Yep, Second Dad to the Right, like Second Star to the Right from Peter Pan.
Mm-hmm.
When I was 3, I was obsessed with Peter Pan, and I had this Peter Pan costume. It was just a green. My mom sewed together like a green sheet where she cut it like jagged to make it look like Peter Pan's outfit, and I wouldn't take it off for like a month. And so now that I got obsessed with Disney as a 39-year-old, I feel like not wanting to grow up is kind of the name of the game anyway. If I'm going to start writing a blog about Disney, so my wife helped me pick the title, and so kind of stuck. We got Second Dad to the Right. So
that is awesome.
I figure, I'm not the best blogger and I'm not the most knowledgeable Disney person in the world, but I'm at least the second dad to the right.
So you can look at that seconddadtotheright.com, I'm guessing.
Yep. Seconddadtotheright.com. Second Dad to the Right on Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram.
Excellent. And we'll put the link to the blog on in the show notes there. So that's not our topic today. Our topic today is to go with and a lot of people now, especially my listeners, that are becoming grandparents, and they're going to be taking grandchildren soon. So this might pertain to you, or you might be young parents listening, and you're going to be going for the first time. So Alex has all the tricks to bring small children to the parks. I guess my first question is, are you nuts? Taking small children. I mean, I'm used to going by myself. It's pretty free and fancy.
It's funny because it's two different cultures where the cultures with the kids are like, why would you go by yourself as an adult? And I do both. So
yeah.
But yeah, so I think a huge part of it for parents especially is, trying to see everything through their kids' eyes and not trying to push the kids too hard, and being able to enjoy things because their kids are enjoying them, even if they think, they're cheesy or whatever. Being able to instead of being that dad that's like, most expensive day ever or whatever, like just being like, I'm here because I want to see my kids light up.
Yeah.
And then I did that, and then all of a sudden I was like, actually, I really like it just by myself. And so our first trip, we had my mother-in-law and my grandmother-in-law with us, and so we left the kids with them, and we went and did some night stuff. We rode Flight of Passage for the first time, and we actually waited in a 2.5-hour line and watched the whole movie on my phone while we were in line. Because it was pretty soon after it opened, and we had never ridden it before.
3-hour movie, isn't it? Avatar?
Yeah, I don't think we finished the whole thing.
Yeah.
And in fact, we ended up chatting with people in line, so that was a little bit of hyperbole, but we did try to watch it the whole thing.
Yeah.
I think we made it an hour and a half into it. So it worked out perfectly with the ride length. I wouldn't wait that long again. I would, we either get a fast pass or
forget it.
I guess not fast pass anymore. Lightning lane. What are we calling it now?
Individual Lightning Lane.
New individual. Well, now it's Lightning Lane Single Pass.
Okay.
On July 24th, it'll be Lightning Lane Single Pass.
Single Pass, and it's Lightning Lane Multi Pass.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on those?
So
it gets expensive if you have a family of 5.
Yeah. So it was expensive anyway. I haven't seen the prices. Have they posted anything about what the prices are going to look like compared to Genie Plus?
Rumors are that the multi pass is between $20 to $30 depending on the day and the park.
So pretty similar to.
That's what the rumor
Genie
is.
Plus, maybe a little bit higher.
Definite.
Yeah. So I'm already expecting to pay that. It's frustrating because it's not Fast Pass, which was free.
Mm-hmm.
But we also spent a few days at Universal where you had to pay more than your ticket price to get Fast Pass access, which of course is a better system, but it's still way more expensive.
Yeah.
We instead of paying that, we just stayed at one of their deluxe resorts or their premium or whatever they call it. But I like that they're going back to booking ahead of time because I personally felt it was really stressful to get up at 7, try not to wake up the kids or having to get the kids ready, having to book it that morning, have a better idea of what your day is going to look like.
You're brushing teeth with one hand and using your phone in the other hand, trying to book your Lightning Lanes.
I have a Canadian follower that pointed out that for whatever reason right now it's not available to international people, and I don't know.
I had
what
read
that's
that.
about.
And if that's the case, if that happens now, what's my incentive to stay in the park now?
Right. I don't know. I feel worse for people who've already got trips booked. If you're, because we already had that Disneyland trip booked. They're going to change the name while we're there, but they're not changing their system.
Yeah.
But I've got a trip booked in August and in October, and if I was international, all of a sudden find out that I was staying, I was staying, Grand Floridian or something, and all of a sudden I was locked out to one of the biggest perks I mean, of course, they can get around it probably with a VPN or something.
I can't see it being a case. I can't see them locking out Canadians. I heard that from British people and a Canadian webpage.
Yeah.
They're gonna be. I think that's just rumors. Disney hasn't announced anything yet.
I mean, somebody gave a screenshot of a chat they had with Disney about being frustrated about it. But again, yeah, I haven't seen it posted by Disney. It was certainly because I went back and read through the thing I guess you read that I wrote my thoughts on it.
I just read a comment in the Canadian Disney Facebook page.
But I wrote a quick article about it when Disney released it. But I read that. I went back and looked through it and even clicked on all their links to see if I could figure out what people were talking about. And I've seen people say I've confirmed with Disney that blah blah blah, but nobody has anything from Disney saying what that is. And it could be something as simple as we haven't got the software ready yet, and it'll be ready by the time they launch. I don't know. They should probably say something about it though, because it's getting a lot of buzz.
Yeah. Time will tell. Honestly, you know what? Like when I used to go up to the park solo, and I would stay at the resort more often than not, Pop Century, and I would just go to whichever bus had the shortest line. That's what park I'd go to. Like I didn't do any planning ahead back in the day. So, and then once when they came out with these lightning lanes, well, I was kind of had to start booking stuff and all that. But anyway, let's get back to the topic on hand. When you go to Walt Disney World, where do you typically stay?
We've stayed all over the place. We have some cast member friends, and so if you got those, they first of all can get you a discount for the resorts. So last time we were there, we stayed at Beach Club for 40% off. So that's the only way we could afford something like that. Yeah. We've stayed at Grand Destino at Coronado Springs a lot. I think we've stayed there at least 5 or 6 times, just because it feels like a deluxe, but it's typically cheaper. Mm-hmm. And we stayed there a lot during the pandemic, and they kept upgrading us to suites because nobody else was there for free. So that was nice.
Yeah. Okay.
And then, we've stayed offsite a few times. If we're ever traveling with a big group, we always stay offsite because you can get an Airbnb with 3 bedrooms for, $100, $200 a night.
Yeah.
And so it's worth paying for parking to have that much space because, a 3-bedroom anything at Disney is going to be over $1,000 a night. Maybe $2,000 a night.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you because like your 2-year-old he's not getting younger, he's getting older, and now the trundle beds work probably very well if you have like the 2.
Well, he didn't even need that yet because he just gets a crib, so we don't actually have to report him as a person yet.
Okay.
So I can book a room for 4 and then ask for a crib.
Okay. Just to show how much I know.
Yeah, they don't care. I mean, people will yell at me online. They'll be like, no, you have to report for fire code or whatever. I'm like, I'm serious. I've taught at Disney. They're like, oh, if you're bringing a kid under 3, you don't have to like claim them. You can just say, I need a crib, get 2 queen beds. And so all 4 of us can sleep in the beds and he can sleep in the crib. So once he turns 3, I think it's 3, it may be 2. I don't know, because I haven't been with him since he turned 2 either.
Eventually.
Then you have to, I didn't fact check all of this beforehand, but eventually we'll have to have either a room that sleeps 5 with the trundle bed, which will still work. I mean, he could probably make it to 10 years old before we really have to worry about that. But again, like I was saying with the credit card travel hacking, we're going to stay in October. We're going to stay for free at the Hyatt Grand Cypress. And because I worked up to get Globalist status, which is their highest elite status, I can, get a suite upgrade. So we'll be able to fit everybody in there for free. They've got a really cool pool. But again, the only problem with that is I don't get bus access and all of that. But
you don't need a bus unless you're planning on going away from Disneyland.
But I was saying, I'm talking about in October we'll be at Disney World at the Hyatt Grand Cypress. Which is
right. Okay.
Near Disney Springs.
Yeah.
So we haven't crossed that bridge yet, but it'll get more difficult. We're already learning how difficult it is with 5 on Disney Cruise. Mm-hmm. Because there's only a certain number of rooms that hold 5, and they're always more expensive per person. Plus, he costs money, whereas he's free at Disney.
Right.
So we didn't even get to do one this year at Disney Cruise Line, but we got one booked in January. That I guess
the room for 5.
I guess they'll learn about it from the podcast.
We'll
have to fast forward to this part.
When you go to like a Walt Disney World trip, how long is your typical trip? Is it a week or?
We do it 4 or 5 days usually. Well, when we first started, we were really hardcore about going to the parks a ton. Mm-hmm. I have that mug. That was the one that got you $1.
For the people
got you free coffee. Free coffee. There's a Star Wars mug that he's drinking that at Starbucks. You get free coffee every day for the month, or something like that, or at the parks. I can't remember what it was. Yeah. But anyway, Sorry, you'll have to cut all that out, I guess. We would go, parks really hard, rope drop, all that. But as we just enjoyed the environment of the resorts. We enjoyed the pools. We enjoyed Disney Springs. And so we sometimes would only go, stay for 5 or 6 days, but only go to the parks 2 or 3 days, or 2 days plus a night event. And we just enjoy it. Like, there's just something about once you drive under the sign for Disney World, it just like I de-stress. Even though I know there's still so much responsibility having to watch the kids, I don't know, I just feel at home and I'm more relaxed, and I don't really care what we're up to. It's just good to be there. Service is so good. Everything's clean. Someone else is making my bed.
Okay, so that kind of leads me to my next question. What is a typical park day like? Because you have the kids. The kids can't go all day. They can't go rope drop to past the fireworks. You have to kind of either take a break midday, or you don't do rope drop, or you don't do fireworks?
We're not big morning people. So we may rope drop one day, unless, with one of the virtual queues, if I accidentally get in group 2, then I've got to be like, everybody get up, we gotta go. But we typically go back to the resort maybe around 1, maybe even eat lunch at Disney Springs or eat lunch at the hotel, and then go to the pool for a little bit, take a nap, and then go back out when it's a little bit cooler, especially if it's in the summertime.
Yeah.
The great thing about summertime is they have lots of night stuff. They got the H2O glow party at Typhoon Lagoon, or one of the after hours events. So there's lots to do without having to be in direct sunlight at 3:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'd take breaks, especially for the baby. I mean, I think at this point, if it's not, 95 degrees, my older girls could probably hang rope drop to close at least one day.
Yeah.
But the baby, but sometimes he falls asleep in the stroller anyway, sometimes.
Yeah, true enough.
You
ever do like a divide and conquer, where maybe your wife takes the for a nap?
So we've done that.
Girls.
The worst divide and conquer was my wife and 2 daughters got to do a cast preview on Tron while I took the baby back for a nap. Because our cast member friend could only take 3 people.
Oh, okay.
So I was dad of the year and let them.
You didn't coin toss or rock paper scissors that one?
No.
What about stuff like snacks? Because I mean, Disney isn't cheap by any stretch of the imagination. Do you bring snacks with you, or do you?
We
buy all your
tons of
snacks
goldfish. The best thing to do is take stuff that doesn't need to be refrigerated, that doesn't make a mess. So goldfish, even though it can get messy, it's not like a wet mess.
Yeah.
Or for the babies, the pouches that with the screw tops.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if they've got like protein in them, like that can be a whole meal for a baby if they have 2 of those. I mean, baby, he's 2, he's a toddler.
Yeah.
But like 2 of those, he's got, protein and yogurt and fruit, and he's eating healthier than everybody else. And it's super easy to just seal it up when he's not using it, or seal it up and throw it away. We usually take a cooler bag that we clip to the back of the stroller that's got bottled water and liquid IV things and anything to stay hydrated.
IV? Hang on, what do you?
So Liquid IV is a brand of powder that Liquid IV is a brand of powder that you pour into a drink that.
Okay, kind of like Crystal Light type of thing.
Yeah.
Or Kool-Aid.
They don't like it when you take syringes into the park.
I was gonna say.
So we do a lot of that because we've got a big stroller, we've got a bob, and so we've got tons of storage underneath that we can shove all the souvenirs, everything. We're never really nervous about anybody stealing anything from us. People ask about that, but we've never, in 20 plus Disney trips, never had anything taken, except for maybe someone stole a poncho off the top of the stroller, but it may have just blown away in the wind. I don't know. It was raining, so we covered the stroller.
Yeah.
And then, but I always joke with people if they ask, I was like, well, just leave a dirty diaper.
Yeah, that's going to smell good in 97 degrees.
No one's going to push a dirty diaper out of the way to steal your souvenirs.
Okay, so one thing that I've never gone with a stroller, but I see cast members moving strollers around all the time to make more room for more strollers and stuff.
Yes. So
do you find your stroller after?
You want to make your stroller identifiable to you from a distance, whether that means attaching a balloon to it, or sometimes people will take like neon duct tape and wrap it around the handlebars, or have a sign on it that's got your name, something that you'll be able to see it, because it will get moved. And a lot of people freak out. They think it got stolen.
Oh, yeah.
But really it just got moved. And I mentioned this on another podcast I was on, but I think that's like one of the worst jobs at Disney World. I can't imagine like being, you go through training and they're like, what are we going to do? Oh, you're going to move strollers around all day long.
I was told that the worst job at Disney World is the person that's at I guess I call it Lightning Lane. Back then it was Fast Pass. The Lightning Lane and the regular line. And you have to close, especially when they could see, when the regular line can see the Lightning Line people. And they have to stop the regular line, and they let through 100 Lightning Lane people. And then they let through 10 regular people. And the guy at the front, he's like, you let like 100 of them go by. He goes, well, I just had a family of 10 go, and I have to do 10 for every one. So they call that the heaven and hell line right there. The two, that's where heaven and hell meets.
I guess that's probably one of the worst places as far as dealing with attitudes. The other place would be with rider swap. I guess we can mention.
Yeah, let's finish rider swap. That's one of my things on here.
So if you've got kids that can't reach the height requirement for a certain ride, everyone that can go height-wise, except for one adult, goes in, and the cast member will scan everybody's band or whatever, and whoever's left, they and one other person get to go through the Lightning Lane. So say us. So say my wife and my daughters will go, through Tower of Terror line, ride Tower of Terror through standby, unless they have a Lightning Lane. They come back, and then me and whichever daughter I think is the best that day gets to go through the Lightning Lane, and then my wife stays with the baby. It's a really cool system.
You can't take both daughters?
No. So you used to be able to take up to 6 people.
Wow.
And that's what I was going to tell you, is that some people really abused that, and they would try to get the whole family back through. And then I saw people like screaming at the cast member, being like, why can't I take all of my extended family through the rider swap? And so they changed the rule. I don't know. They probably changed it after COVID, where you can only take one person back with you, so you're not alone.
Okay.
But I think that system's a lot better than Universal. Universal, the baby has to go through the line with you.
Oh my gosh.
And they've got like what they call it child swap, which is a much worse name.
I was, you know what? I was trying to remember the name of it for Disney, and I'm thinking child swap. I go, that can't possibly be right. I had to look it up.
It's rider swap at Disney, and child swap at Universal. And so every time I passed the child swap sign when we were at Universal, I was like, should we get a different one?
Yeah. Should we go kick some tires on some of the children they have available right now?
But because it's outside the ride, number one, I can take the baby and we could go do something else. We could go do another ride if it's a really long queue, or we can go shopping, sit in the air conditioning, get a snack, whatever. And you don't have to go on that Lightning Lane right away. So if everybody want to come out and then we had dinner reservations, then I could take one of my daughters and we could go on it 2 hours later.
Yeah.
Because it's just on my band as long as you do it before close. And so I like the rider swap a lot, especially if you've got grandparents with you. Because then I could go ride it with my wife, just the two of us.
Okay.
She could be the rider swap person, and we can leave the girls behind with grandma.
That works. Speaking of, you mentioned reservations, because I was wondering about that, because tantrums happen. They're going to happen. And you don't know when they're going to happen. So I'm thinking I'd almost be afraid to book a table service reservation, because I might have to take so-and-so back to the room for a nap type of thing. Have you ever come across that, or don't do reservations? Do you do table service? How do you handle something like that?
I mean, not to brag, but we haven't really had any tantrum situations.
Oh, nice.
Disney's changed their reservation cancellation policy to now you can cancel within 2 hours, I think, without having to pay.
Oh, okay.
And they're usually really lenient about changing the number in your party. You may end up having to wait a lot, but so if all 5 of us were going to a restaurant, and this has happened before, one kid gets sick, I can leave, and then you could do a reservation for 3. They're not going to be mad at you for only coming in with 3.
Yeah.
Because you're obviously not trying to cheat the system by trying to book a bigger party.
Yeah.
If you tried to bring 5 in when you had 3, they would be like, you got to wait another half an hour. But yeah, that's actually one of my...
Mom or dad could go back with the 6th child or with the tantrum child or whatever back to the room for a nap.
Yeah.
And that makes sense.
So when my wife was pregnant with my son, she wasn't feeling that great, and my younger daughter wasn't feeling great. And so we had a reservation for 4 at Raglan Road. And so they went back to the room and just stayed. And so I just took my older daughter, and it was just the 2 of us. And they didn't care that number 4. But the funny part about that story is that the guy next to us thought that I was a single dad, so he paid for our meal.
Bonus.
And I had to be like, I'm not. Yeah, she's just at the hotel.
Hey, you can get it. Go for it. That didn't happen to me when I was there with my daughters alone.
Oh. Did you look really sad? Did you try to?
No, we were having a blast the whole time.
I'm pushing through it.
Yeah, like my daughter was 16 the first time we went.
Oh yeah.
So it was a little bit different.
So it was me and it was me and a 7-year-old.
Yeah, she was.
So I looked like I was.
Yeah, she was the one that was like, "Come on, Dad, we can stay for the fireworks. You don't need to go back to the room."
Yeah.
What about stuff like bathroom breaks? Because I'm picturing if you're walking around with 5 people and one goes to the bathroom, and as soon as you get halfway down the Hollywood Boulevard, someone else has to go right away. Or do you kind of encourage everybody to go at the same time?
Yeah, if one person has to go, everybody has to go.
Whether you have to or not.
Yeah,
that's a good tip.
Yeah, because I mean, part of it is like if one of my daughters has to go and I have to go, the other daughter has to go into the women's restroom with my wife anyway. So might as well get to work.
Yeah.
But you sweat so much at Disney that the hard part is staying hydrated more than it is going to the bathroom.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Any other tips before we bring in our special guest?
If you can swing it and you have a stroller, I really recommend preferred parking everywhere but Magic Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to just get the stroller out of the car and really be right there at the entrance, I think is worth the $40 or however much it ends up costing. I think it's $25 extra or whatever you're going to pay for parking if you're driving there. At Magic Kingdom, you have to park at the transportation and ticket center anyway, so it's not worth it to get preferred parking as much because you're going to end up having to walk a long way and take the monorail. But not having to try to cram the stroller into a tram or push it a really long way I think is a bonus. And be ready to fold your stroller on the tram, on the bus, and on the Skyliner. If it's a double, you can take single strollers on the Skyliner without folding them up. If it's a side-by-side, if it's a front and back double, you can take it on a Skyliner, but you don't usually have to fold them up for the boats unless they're really small.
Okay, I didn't know that. Yeah, so practice folding up that stroller quickly. Yeah,
knowing how to, especially if you're renting a stroller, knowing how to take that thing apart and put it back together is important.
Yeah, that's good. It's a good tip for sure. I'm sorry, are you going to have to remind me again, what's your daughter's names?
Della and Amelia.
Let's bring them in.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
The world was stunned when Gordon Ramsay announced that he was leaving Hell's Kitchen.
I'm done standing here with a bunch of idiots. Good luck, superstars.
Almost immediately, the search for his replacement began. There was only one real contender. He is the most renowned chef on the planet, but would he live up to Ramsay's previous standards?
Yes, it's Smorgan, Friggin, and Friggin, a donut.
Yes, chef.
Smorgan, Flaggin, Friggin, Praggin, Jack, and Friggin, a bird.
No, chef.
Yes, Smorgan, Friggin, a buck, raw.
Come on, I gotta get right on it.
Smorgan, Friggin, read a Horgan,
yes, chef.
You be a Herbin.
Yes, chef.
Froggen, Smorgan, a Porgan,
yes,
idiot
chef.
sandwich.
Yes, chef.
Yes, Smorgan, lamb sauce. Yes, Smorgan, lamb sauce.
Coming soon to Disney Plus. Muppets. Hex Kitchen.
Friggin, Smorgan, Muppet. Oh, wait a minute.
Okay, and we're back. We got 2 special guests. We have Alex's daughters, Delia. Say hello, Delia.
Della.
It's Della.
Della, sorry.
Hello.
Hello. Ken booked Alex Smith, which I could pronounce. And then Amelia, say hello.
Hi.
Hi. Just to say, okay. So I want to welcome you guys to the solo show. We're talking about Walt Disney World. You're familiar with it, I'm sure?
Yes.
Okay. Do you like going to Walt Disney World? Now tell the truth, or does your dad drag you there kicking and fighting all the way?
Oh, he drags us there. We don't want to.
You don't like going there? No, seriously.
No, we're just kidding. We love going there.
You love going there. All right, that's good. When you go to Walt Disney World, what's your favorite place to stay?
Definitely Coronado Springs.
Yeah.
For both of you, Coronado Springs?
Yes.
How about Pop Century? You don't like Pop Century?
I don't think we've ever stayed there, actually.
Oh, you got to stay at Pop Century. It's lovely.
Well, I also really like the Polynesian Resort. Yeah, Polynesian's pretty cool.
Polynesian's beautiful, sure.
That costs a lot of money, though.
It costs a lot of money. Yeah.
That's why it's not my favorite.
I was about to say.
They have stayed at Art of Animation before. I don't know if they remember that, though.
I remember that. I don't.
Yeah, top centuries right across the river from Art of Animation. So when you go, do you get pictures taken with different characters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
As we got older, though, we did more rides, though.
Okay, who is your favorite character, or do you have an event that happened that a character really made you laugh or something? Tell me a story that a character made you laugh or was really scary, or maybe it was scary or something, some memory of meeting a character.
So when I was 5, we had a meet and greet with Gaston, and I wouldn't get in front of Mom. Like, I had to hide behind Mom's back because, like, I was so scared of Gaston at that time.
So did he come around and get you or make you feel better or anything?
So I think she was actually 3 when this happened, but she was wearing a bell dress.
Okay.
And she was scared of him, and he goes, "Why are you scared of me? I'm not the one that locked you in a tower."
I actually have a similar story. I was actually thinking I'd tell my story of Gaston. When I think I was 5, she was 3 when we met him. I wanted so bad to bleed at him because I hated him so much because I watched Beauty and the Beast on the way to Orlando, like, multiple times straight.
You wanted to what at him?
Bleat at him like a goat.
Really? That's random. That's not something she does in regular life.
No. Not anymore.
She doesn't make goat noises at people she doesn't like.
So did you get a chance to bleed?
Also, she definitely doesn't act crazy at dining table.
What? Okay.
So did you get a chance to bleat at him?
No, she didn't.
No, you didn't? Okay.
I eventually was like, no, I'm too scared. No, I'm too embarrassed. No, that's not what I want to do.
Okay, what is your favorite park of all the 4 parks?
Magic Kingdom, definitely.
That is so hard. I can't choose between Hollywood Studios and Animal Kingdom. I think I have to go with Hollywood Studios, though.
Hollywood Studios, then Animal Kingdom.
Yes.
Then
Epcot, then Magic Kingdom.
Wow.
Magic Kingdom's just so busy.
So here we go. So I have Magic Kingdom, then Epcot, then Hollywood Studios, then Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom is my fourth.
And my number 1 is Epcot, so we're missed.
Mine is Hollywood Studios. So there you go. Because of the Star Wars land, the Toy Story land.
Yes.
Yes!
Exactly.
That's why I like Hollywood Studios outside.
Actually, switch Epcot with Hollywood Studios.
Yep. I thought
Yeah,
so.
Hollywood Studios is my second favorite.
How about attractions? What's your favorite attraction?
I really like Guardians and Tron.
Tron was probably...
You guys done Tron already?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, they did the cast preview. Remember I mentioned that?
Oh, right. That's right. You said that. I'm never doing Tron.
We did it.
Have done more attractions than I have then, because I haven't done hardly any attractions. Like anything that drops or goes too fast or spins, I don't do.
I think we did Tron 3 times in a row at the after hours at Magic Kingdom.
Oh my gosh.
Really?
Yeah.
We did, that's right. Did we do After Hours at Magic Kingdom? I think we
remember
did
it
with Guardians.
You're gonna like Tiana's when it opens, though, probably.
Oh, I'm so excited to ride Tiana's
Yeah.
whenever we do get to go to Disney World next time.
That's gonna be good. Now, you got to put on your thinking caps here. You're gonna become Imagineers now. You know what Imagineers are, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I want you each to make an attraction. What are you going to make for the brand new attraction? It could be, you can use a Disney character, or you could do without a Disney character.
Me? I don't know. I would probably do like kind of like a roller coaster that's really intense. Mixing with I don't know. Like some kind of Disney movie.
How about an Orange Bird roller coaster? You go through trees and stuff.
Orange Bird.
I would probably make like a Velocicoaster style roller coaster for Star Wars.
Oh.
I think it fit the theme very well.
Oh.
Or like
It should be like the what's that? The run that he does, the Kessel Run.
The Kessel Run.
yes.
I'd probably do that too.
Also kind of like the Incredibles ride at Disney California Adventure, just Star Wars.
So where would you put those? Would you put them in Galaxy's Edge, or?
I would obviously put them in Galaxy's Edge.
I guess they could tear down that hotel they made that nobody goes to anymore because they closed it. Put it there.
What hotel?
Star Wars.
There's a Star Wars hotel.
So what about you, Millie? What, decide what you want it to be.
Don't steal my idea.
What?
I kind of wanted to create kind of like an Incredicoaster Tron for like maybe like either Tangled or Aladdin, because they don't have rides like that there.
Well, they have the Aladdin's Magic Carpets.
I know, but Aladdin doesn't really have an official ride. Like, I wouldn't call that a ride. I just call that kind of like...
Okay.
Something to walk around when you're in Adventureland.
Something in the way.
Something in the way when you're walking around.
It spits at me.
So what is going to make your roller coaster different? Are you going to have it because like they did the Guardians of the Galaxy one now that spins around, the Tron one you sit down on it like a motorcycle. You're doing a Star Wars one. How's it going to be different?
I definitely want like it to be like super crazy, then like it stops like in the middle of like the ride for like show scenes multiple times. That'd be pretty cool. Like for like animatronics and stuff.
Oh, okay. So it would have like multiple launches where it would stop and you'd see some animatronics and then you would go again. Kind of a cross between a dark ride and a roller coaster then.
Yes.
Kind of like Gringotts?
Yeah, I guess. Like Gringotts, yeah.
There we go. Do you have any friends that might be listening you want to say hi to?
I don't think so.
You don't have friends? You don't have friends that might be listening?
I didn't text any of my friends to tell them to listen to this.
It's coming out in a couple of weeks, this show.
You can share the link with them.
I probably can, though.
Anybody you want to say their name online so they listen? They'll hear you.
Hi, Ivana.
Hi, Marin.
There we go.
Hi, Layla. I hope you've already reached Athens.
And when's your next trip? I hear you're going to Disneyland for the first time.
Disneyland, sometime in July. I think the third week of July.
About 3 weeks away.
3 weeks, yeah.
That's exciting. What are you most excited about for Disneyland?
Pixar Fest. I'm so excited for that.
Mm-hmm.
I also like the rides that aren't in Disney World, like maybe Incredicoaster. I'm really excited for that.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Toad's Wild
Maybe
Ride.
Disney World will add that soon.
I don't know.
Someday.
If they make a roller coaster, they put it indoors, it seems, all the time, right? They don't like to have the outdoor coasters type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they did that with Tron, kind of. But there was still a roof over the outdoor Tron part.
Right.
Yeah, Slinky Dog is really the only, Barnstormer, I guess.
Barnstormer, yeah.
Completely outside. A little bit of Expedition Everest. That's a good point. I guess because it rains so much more in Florida than it does in California.
Yeah, that too, yeah. It's going to rain every day. They'll be shutting it down every day. Well, I want to thank you two for coming on. This was a lot of fun.
Thanks for having me.
Alrighty.
Us.
Alex, anything else before we sign off here?
No, I'm good. Thanks for having us.
Check out seconddadtotheright.com. He has a blog. You post on there several times a week, it seems.
Yep.
Oh.
This week especially. Yeah.
And the girls write too on there.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
That's why we posted so much this week, because both of them finished one this week, and then I finished one, and I had to give everybody the Genie Plus Lightning Pass. Lightning Lane. Whatever. Lightning Lane Single Pass.
Single lane. I don't
know.
Multi-lane. They make it so confusing. Ken, take us away.
If you have a brilliant idea for a future edition of The Solo Show and would like to take your turn in the guest host's chair, then drop us an email at thesoloshow01@gmail.com. Tell us your idea for the show, and we'll contact you about a date and a time for you to join us. If you would just like to keep the conversation going or have a comment about a previous show, then visit us on Facebook at The Solo Show. All logos, sounds, and songs that are made by and for Disney and its affiliates are owned solely by the Disney Corporation and are not, nor are they intended to be, the ownership of The Solo Show podcast. We hope you'll join us for the next adventure on The Solo Show. Thanks for listening, and bye for now.